Swadika, good morning. Welcome to Newsline. It's Monday, March the 3rd of 2014. I'm Chalapansa Narula. Let's take a look at today's headlines. His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej signed the royal decree on the Senate election scheduled on March 30th, 2014. The royal decree was issued since the term of the current elected Senate members ended on the 2nd of March. According to Section 118 of the Constitution, a nationwide Senate election must be arranged within 30 days after the Senate term ends. The royal decree has been published in the Royal Gazette. The chairman of the Election Commission is in charge of the law. Moving on, the Election Commission has reported on Sunday the re-election results in 5 provinces where the original vote was cancelled had the turnout of 10.2%, or about 93,800 people. No disruptions have been reported. The 5 provinces included Phetchaburi, Rayong, Phetchabun, Samut Songkhram and Samut Sakhon. Election Commissioner Somchai C. Sutiyakon said the overall Sunday polls were orderly and speculated that the low turnout was caused by the political problems and people's disagreement with a general election during this period. The EC itself had very little time to promote the elections. The EC has not yet approved the poll results since there are many election districts where vote counting has not finished. As for the 16 provinces whose 2nd February polls were disrupted, the Election Commissioner said the EC would meet to discuss the matter on March 7th in Songkhla province, and it was likely that polls for the 16 provinces would take place early April after the Senate election is held on the 30th of March. Army Chief General Prayut Chan-o-cha has voiced his strong support for talks between all sides involved in the current political deadlock that has gripped the country for the past 8 years. If the talk between the government and the protesters were to take place, it should be carried out under the country's legal framework, and that all sides must get involved in the process to seek peaceful solutions to the crisis. He also dismissed rumors of him becoming a neutral prime minister, saying it is a far-fetched idea for one to be thinking about. As for coup d'etat, the army chief said he could not promise anything. However, he affirmed that the military would try its best to avoid it. He also condemned the use of M79 grenades in a spate of violent incidents, warning the perpetrators that they will definitely face the music. The United States Secretary of State has voiced his concerns about the continued violence in Thailand while expressing condolences to families and friends of those victimized by politically motivated violence. Secretary of State John Kerry issued a statement on the U.S. Department of State website saying the U.S. was deeply concerned by the ongoing violence in Thailand. As allies and close friends of the Thai people, the U.S. was profoundly saddened by the deaths and injuries that had shaken the country, adding that the deaths of children must be a wake-up call to all sides to refrain from using violence and respect the rule of law. The U.S. Secretary of State also called upon Thai authorities to investigate attacks and bring those people to justice, while voicing concerns about employment of tactics that undermine Thailand's democratic values and processes, inhibited compromise, and further exacerbated political tensions. According to the message, the United States of America does not take sides in Thai politics, as the decision to resolve differences solely depends on the will of the people of Thailand. Lastly, Mr. Kerry said all sides should commit to dialogue in the spirit of seeking common ground to address differences and find a peaceful, democratic way forward. The DSI will ask the criminal court to issue an arrest warrant for Suthep Thaugsuban on multiple charges of murder during the 2010 demonstrations. The DSI Director General Tharit Phengdit reported on the progress of the case of civilian deaths, saying department officers will on March the 4th seek an arrest warrant from criminal court for Suthep Thaugsuban, former Deputy Prime Minister and Director of the Emergency Situation Management Center, for being involved in the deaths. The arrest warrant will be secured to bring Mr. Suthep to hear the Attorney General Office's charges, not for questioning. Mr. Suthep will not be allowed to post bail with officers, but can request bail from the court. In addition, the Center for Maintaining Peace and Order has instructed the DSI to issue summons for over 50 other PDRC leaders, ordering them to appear to hear the charges within 10 days. Mr. Tariq affirmed that the DSI was not just issuing summons for the two PDRC leaders who blew whistles at Kunying Pochaman, but for all of the PDRC leaders who broke the law. And after the PDRC moved out of the 4 rallies, the BMA personnel have moved in to clean up the areas. According to BMA spokesperson Trida Aphaiwong, more than 3,000 personnel from 28 districts were assigned to clean up the 4 former rally sites, including Asok, Rajprasong, Pathumwan and Silom. Beginning at Asok yesterday morning, personnel then moved on to work at Rajprasong, Pathumwan and then Silom. Explosive ordnance disposal specialists and police officers also inspected the rally sites to make sure that they were safe and no suspicious or dangerous objects were present. Meanwhile, the Traffic Police Division has reported that Asok intersection has been reopened to motorists after political demonstrators vacated the area, but Rajprasong and Pathumwan intersections remain partially closed. According to Traffic Police Commander, Police Major General Jirasan Kao Sang Ek, after PDRC protesters vacated Asok, Rajprasong and Pathumwan intersections to form one large rally site at Lumpini, authorities have inspected the intersections and are working to reopen roads for motorists. Asok intersection is now completely reopened, as mentioned. Meanwhile, only a portion of Rama 1 Road at Rajprasong intersection has been reopened, while Rajdamri Road inbound to Pratunam intersection is still being cleaned up. Rajdamri Road inbound to Saladang intersection is only open until Rajdamri intersection. Police are also working to completely reopen Pathumwan intersection. It is expected that the Rajprasong and Pathumwan intersections can be completely reopened today. The Thai Red Cross Society and diplomatic wives from over 50 countries across the world organized the 47th Diplomatic Red Cross Bazaar at Siam Paragon Shopping Complex to raise funds for the Society's projects. The bazaar presented booths from 55 countries, including France, the US, the Netherlands and Norway, displaying their national handicrafts, food and specialties at specially reduced prices for the public to see and buy. Finland, Australia and Nepal were newcomers this year, offering their crystalware, wine and other local products. Mrs. Wendell Moet Boa, who is head of the bazaar's organizing committee, said highlights at the event included Dutch cheese, French wines, salmon products from Norway and skincare products from countries such as South Korea and Myanmar. The Thai Red Cross Society said the Diplomatic Red Cross Bazaar was a yearly charity event organized by the Thai Red Cross Society in coordination with the Diplomatic Participants Committee, composed of the wives of the diplomats and diplomatic representatives based in Thailand. In addition to raising funds for various projects of the Thai Red Cross Society, the event promoted local products from the participating countries and strengthening good relationship among the international participants. Proceeds from the bazaar would go to charitable projects for children, women and elderly people. The projects include breast cancer care at Chulalongkorn Hospital and mobile clinics in rural areas. We'll now take a short break. Up next, the Ministry of Commerce has denied the rumor of rice dumping in Indonesia. Stay with us.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
Moving forward to the establishment establishment of ASEAN Community in 2015. The Public Relations Department has launched a 24-hour English language satellite TV channel, NBT World. Broadcast in C-band format, viewers can stay up to date on what's going on in Thailand and countries in the ASEAN region. NBT World can be watched by GMMZ set top box on channel 194 and PSI set top box on channel 198. NBT World, Voice of ASEAN Community.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. This is the business news section now. Commerce Minister Niwatt Thamrong Bunsongphaisan has affirmed that all unpaid farmers will receive money for their pledged rice. The minister confirmed that the government has received an official reply from the Election Commission approving the use of 712 million baht from the central budget to pay rice farmers who still have not received their money for the 2012 and 2013 production season. The farmers were supposed to have been paid in September. He said that this group of 3,900 rice growers in 5 provinces will receive their money in full this week. Regarding the government's request for the EC to approve the use of 20 billion baht from the central budget to pay rice growers who were still waiting for their money under the rice pledging scheme, the minister said the initiative wasn't considered a new debt burden for the government, as the money would be temporarily borrowed from the budget while the Finance Ministry procured loans. And the Ministry of Commerce has denied the rumor of rice dumping in Indonesia, which allegedly affected rice prices in the global market and had upset many rice producers. Director General of the Department of Foreign Trade, Surasak Riengkrua, confirmed the ministry had not sold Thai rice under the rice subsidy program at less than normal value in Indonesia and other countries, as the rumor had said. Thai rice currently sold in Indonesia was more expensive than other rice and had better quality. Mr. Surasak stated further that Indonesia had not bought rice from Thailand since 2013 due to the country's higher rice production. And before that, Thailand had exported higher priced rice which Indonesia could not produce by itself, such as jasmine rice, sticky rice and broken sticky rice. The official reiterated that the ministry sold rice from government warehouses at the prices in line with the market and the quality of the produce. The average price of Thai rice is around $440 per ton, higher than rice from Vietnam and India, Thailand's competitors, who sell their grains at $400 a ton and $419 a ton, respectively. The Small and Medium Enterprise Development Bank of Thailand, or the SME Bank, is considering assistance measures for SMEs affected by political rallies in Bangkok's commercial districts. The SMEs who are customers of the bank will be entitled to suspension of debt payments. According to reports, the bank would help over 12,000 SMEs in Ratchaprasong, Silom, Siam Square, the Platinum Shopping Mall, Pratu Nam, Victory Monument and Asok. The assistance is expected to be similar to that for the SMEs affected by political demonstrations in 2010, which included debt suspension, debt interest payments in installment for 6 to 12 months and a low interest rate of 4.25%. The SME Bank's customers who have been affected by the ongoing political protests in Bangkok owe the bank 500,000 baht each on average. Meanwhile, executive of the Center for Maintaining Peace and Order, Tharit Pengdit, said the center had agreed to set up a committee to help people and SMEs affected by the rallies. State-run banks would be asked to provide soft loans for the latter. The Bank of Thailand says the country's economic growth this year could be lower than 2013 in circumstances where a new government is not established by the third quarter. According to Khun Don Nakhonthap, director of the BOT's Macroeconomic Policy Office, if the current political conflict dragged on and a new government was unable to be formed by the third quarter of 2014, Thailand was very likely to see its economy grow at less than 2.9%. The central bank has been closely monitoring the situation and believes that the economy will recover at a fast pace once the conflict ends. Meanwhile, not only does political conflict affect employment, it also poses a huge threat to tourism, as hotel occupancy rates dropped more than 60% in January and also in February. To make matters worse, business confidence took a hard fall in January, standing at 45.4 points, making the month of January the 7th consecutive month where business confidence stayed below the 50-point level. And before markets open, let's have a look at how markets ended on Friday. Now, most Southeast Asian stocks pushed higher on Friday, with Indonesia poised for a third straight month of gains, while Thai shares edged cautiously higher amid lingering political uncertainty. Stocks in Thailand extended gains from the previous session after anti-government protest leader Suthep Thaugsuban proposed a live television debate with Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra to defuse the domestic crisis. Jakarta's composite index in Indonesia, meanwhile, was up 0.6% at 4,596.71. Astra International, the country's biggest firm by value, jumped 3%, extending a rise from the previous session following its 2013 earnings announcement. And according to Reuters, Indonesia shares have notched up about 4% so far this month to Friday, alongside a rise in the rupiah and foreign inflows. Net foreign buying this month was up to Thursday was about $620 million. But the factor to be watched today, I should say, would be the crisis in Ukraine that could possibly shake the market. Before we take a break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and also the commodity prices.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thailand to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Back. The Ministry of Public Health is stepping up measures against malaria in the country's highlands after finding the areas have become most prone to the disease. According to Dr. Sopon Mekthon, the Director General of the Disease Control Department, a campaign to eliminate malaria in the highland areas will be spearheaded in Tha Song Yang district of Tak province, where a great number of patients are found, many of whom are repeated cases. The department will set up a malaria detection unit in the province. Its daily operation will be to diagnose 70 people a day, and once a case is found, treatment and medications will be provided free of charge. Since malaria is a mosquito-borne infectious disease, the Ministry of Public Health has ordered local authorities to eliminate all mosquito breeding grounds by using mosquito foggers and chemical-coated mosquito nets. According to statistics compiled in 2013, Tak had the highest number of malaria infections with more than 12,000 cases. The Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation has declared 15 provinces drought-hit areas as authorities begin speeding up help for those badly affected. As Chiang Rai has not seen any rain for as long as 2 months, farmers are using water from a nearby creek to keep their off-season rice growing. However, it is expected that the amount of water in the creek will only last 1 to 2 weeks. In Buriram province, at least 8 villages are running low on water supplies after the main basin dried up nearly a month ago. The province has therefore declared the area a drought disaster zone and is now speedily pumping water from other reservoirs into the water-less basin. Bungkan is another province that has been hard hit by the annual drought. Provincial authorities have told residents to use water efficiently and has urged farmers to postpone any off-season cultivation. The Royal Irrigation Department reports that water for agriculture has been used up, while water for consumption is currently in short supply. Farmers are told to save water. Director of the Ayutthaya Irrigation Project, Maitri Pitti Nanun, said that he had issued a ban on dry second rice cultivation from March to April as the water levels of Bhumipol and Sirikit dams were low. He said there was no more water for farming and only a small amount of water for consumption was left. As for the salty tap water in Bangkok, Mr. Maitri explained that it was caused by inadequate water to keep seawater out of the Chao Phraya River. The department will provide only water for consumption for farmers, but will not supply water for their agricultural activities. And as the Royal Irrigation Department has said about the salty water, the Metropolitan Waterworks Authority is asking the public to store reserves of water before periods of high sea level between March 3rd to 4th and March 9th to 10th, which will hinder tap water production. According to the agency, efforts by the Irrigation Department to release more water into the Chao Phraya River to facilitate tap water production and maintenance of the freshwater ecosystem does not guarantee that tap water quality will not be affected during the periods of saltwater incursion. People in Bangkok are advised to reserve tap water before the aforementioned periods of high sea level. Irrigation Department Chief Pramod Maiklat expressed concerns over saltwater incursion and also the high sea levels, as 15 provinces have already been declared drought-afflicted zones. He revealed that the salinity reading was currently 5 grams per litre, which exceeded the standard. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. If you have any suggestions, please email them to us. The email address is now on your screen. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing NNT, or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newseng. All right, it's time to say goodbye, and we'll be leaving you with some beautiful scenery of the Got Thalu, which is in Prachuap Khiri Khan province. I'm Chalapansa Narula. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Swadee ka.